I used to think that finding the one would make everything easier for me, but the truth is, it's actually been one of the hardest journeys I've ever had to go through, and also the most rewarding. Hello, I'm Daniel, and I talk about my life, everything I've gone through, still going through. Here we discuss the difficult things of being gay, life in general, how I've managed to cope with the things I go through. It's more of a community we teach and share with each other here. I encourage you to share any of your stories in the comments below so we can continue to build this community. This video is about marriage and love and the growth that I have gone through since I got married. I thought it was going to be so easy once I got married. So I spent my whole life waiting, searching for the one, then I found him. Usually you have in your head that it's going to be this fantasy fairy tale wonderland, when in reality you're actually creating a bond with someone who is completely different than you. Getting those two bonds to meet perfectly is quite challenging. For the last 5 years, I have been discovering how to make that bond. And it's been a challenge, but isn't anything worth doing a challenge, right? For quite a long time, I didn't really feel heard in our relationship. One example, I like loud music, I like dance music. He prefers it quieter. For many years, it was really hard for me to accept that. I kind of stressed out in my head a lot because I wanted to play loud music all the time. I just hated the silence. I've actually discovered a few things like enjoying the silence, meditating in silence. Before, when I would meditate, I would always use music or some kind of sound. And I've been looking up things about silence and the benefits of being in silence. Finding a common ground has been this kind of rocky road. That's just one example of how we've kind of met in the middle. When we're in the car, for instance, he'll play the music louder and he'll play dance music that I like. When you're having a conflict with someone and you're arguing, that's completely normal. But what I've realized is that fighting isn't about winning. It was about understanding each other better. I heard this thing yesterday. They were talking about how just feeling heard in the relationship brings you closer together. The problems that you have, they generally never go away. You're always going to be you and the other person's going to be them, but they matter less because you feel more connected to each other. That is what is so important in a relationship with communication, is that your problems matter less because you care about the person more. When you're in a relationship, there are so many things that you're going to like that your partner won't. And it's important to find common ground that you can meet in the middle. So you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit, and so is your partner. And the ability to communicate how much middle ground you're willing to meet on is really important in having a successful relationship. But it really boils down to patience and determination. Through all of it, we haven't given up, just knowing that we both want to have a successful relationship, and it's something that we are willing and committed to having with each other. I think that is really the most important thing, knowing that both of you guys are working towards your relationship. I think it's really important to understand that there's so many things in a relationship that you probably take for granted. Just the fact that you're there for each other 24/7. If anything happens, you are always there. For instance, if I need help with anything, like I'm working on a video and I need support, my husband helped me set the lights up just now. It's not like he said no or he didn't want to. He was excited to help me. It was really cool. And it's something that I know he's always there, willing to help me, just like I'm always there and willing to help him. So I came up with a metaphor for this. I've realized that just because you find the one doesn't mean that the road gets easier. Sometimes it gets harder, but without the struggle, the roots don't take hold. And when they do, that rocky road eventually becomes a highway. That's a little thing I came up with earlier today. I'm just now really starting to understand the importance of a struggle in your relationship is what makes it strong. I'm finally realizing what it means to truly grow together. I think about our relationship and I'm really happy to have him in my life. He is very supportive. I've been talking about wanting to move back to LA, and after we moved to Vegas from Hawaii, he was very supportive. Those are things that I take for granted sometimes. I just got back from LA this weekend, and he was mentioning how he was looking at places in LA, how he was wanting to get back into film and work in the film industry, work on sets and everything, and I thought that was really cool. It's nice to have that support, to know that he's listening to me and trying to figure out ways to make the dreams that I have possible, as well as his. I know a lot of marriages end because people fight all the time, and my parents were divorced. My dad, who got remarried, they were together for 17 years, but then they ended up getting divorced. And my mom got remarried and was with him for about just as long. They ended up getting divorced. What that showed me is that marriages are so challenging. You have to really know the other person loves you as much as you love them. I know that James loves me as much as I love him. That is very hard to find. So that's why it's so important to keep working together, especially when the differences are small. Work through your issues. If there's one thing I've learned, love isn't about finding the one. It's about growing together with the one. You can find the one, but if you guys don't grow together, it won't be the one. It'll be a -1. So whether it's a partner, a friend, or even yourself, the important thing is to keep showing up every day. Relationships aren't perfect, but they're worth the work. If you're struggling, don't give up. Growth takes time. What's one lesson a relationship has taught you about yourself? Let me know in the comments below. If this video resonated with you, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more personal stories and advice. Let's grow together.